All right, how's everybody doing? We are live on YouTube. So let me go ahead and start recording. Got some people who are going to be joining us here shortly. And let me, matter of fact, before I start recording, let me start sharing my stuff on YouTube. Let me start sharing my YouTube channel. Y'all give me just a moment. Let me start sharing my YouTube stuff before we get started. We should have quite a few people joining us this morning for the Broker's Hour. Share this on a couple places on Facebook. While everybody gets situated and get in. Just share that to a couple of groups on Facebook. I'm going to put it in Freight Dispatch Group 101 for beginners. We're also going to go to Dispatchers 411, and we're also going to go to Dispatch Masters. Dispatch Masters, and we're also going to go to my Instructors and Trainers group, Freight Brokers and Trainers and Instructors. And trainers, we're also going to go to the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers, my host group. Got to get it onto our host group, the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. And I'm going to share it on my main Facebook, my personal Facebook page. I'm sharing it to my story or whatever the case may be. And I'm also going to share it onto LinkedIn. And we're going to share it to our Twitter account. Gotta get on Twitter, man. You ain't doing nothing if you ain't on Twitter. Seriously, man. If you're not on Twitter, you ain't doing nothing. Right? All right. Let me go down here. I gotta go to my other browser to share it on Twitter. Let me go to Twitter. Other browser. There we go. All right, let's go and get started. All right, good morning, everybody. Let me go and start my recording. I got to start my recording. We have to record for posterity. Posterity, not posterity, but posterity. I think that's the difference. There's a big difference between posterity and posterity. So we're gonna or for the one that's not offensive. Okay. Let's record for the one that's not offensive. All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Calvin Butler with the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers and the National Dispatchers Network. And today is Saturday morning, roughly 10:15, 10:16, which means it's time for what? The Broker's Hour. As you all can see right there, we are broadcasting live on YouTube on the big screen and things of that nature. So, yeah, we got it going on this morning. Got my coffee, good to go. A little chilly this morning. I forgot to put a fire in the fireplace. I've got my wood back there, but I just, got up late, had to rush out, get some coffee, get the wife some breakfast, some stuff like that. She's still in bed, sleep, wait for me to return. But I thought I'd come down and spend some time with you all and do this Broker's Hour. Now, as you all know, I've been heavily involved with a lot of the groups on Facebook. Dispatchers 411, which is a group for beginners in dispatching, and another Dispatching 101 for dispatcher beginners. Both those groups are just flooded. I mean, it's just populated with thousands of new people who are coming into dispatching. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing because, the industry has gone for a while kind of under the radar. And someone asked a question, what's the difference? Well, someone was asking a question. They wanted to know what was the primary difference between dispatchers and freight brokers, because they couldn't decide if they wanted to be a broker or if they wanted to be a dispatcher, like their own dispatch firm, or whatever the case may be. Well, the main differences, and I'm going to tell you this right now. Now, before we get started, today's Broker Hour is going to be on negotiating with shippers. How brokers should negotiate with shippers. Okay, so we're gonna cover that. But I wanted to address this question because you got a lot of newbies, a lot of new people who are coming into the industry. And with that being said, a lot of them are treating this business, both dispatching and freight, not so much on the freight broking side, but definitely on the dispatching side. You have a lot of new people who are treating this business like it's a side hustle. Okay, and I want to assure you all that dispatching is anything but a side hustle. Okay, it is anything but a side hustle. Dispatching is a very serious business, because more so than brokering, because and here's the reason why. Brokers are not beholden to the carrier. They're not beholden to the owner operator. Brokers are representatives of the shippers. They are paid what they're supposed to be paid by the shippers. They're paid by the shippers to move the shipper's freight. They have a commitment to the shipper that they have signed an agreement with their broker shipper contract. Their commitment is to the shipper to move that shipper's freight, and the shipper pays them a margin, pays them a fee, a commission, a margin for them moving a certain amount of their freight, their cheap freight, their medium rate freight, and their high dollar freight. Okay, because those are the three classifications of freight that a shipper has. Every shipper has cheap freight that falls below $1.50, below $1. All shippers have it. Okay, it's just a part of the business. Okay, that freight has to move just like the freight that pays $2 to $3 per mile, just like the freight that pays $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10, $11, $12, $20, $30, $40 per mile. Shippers cannot survive without moving their cheap freight. They can't. It's got to go. It's got to move just like everything else. Okay. Now, a lot of people always ask the question, why do brokers exist? Why can't the carriers go directly to the shippers and get freight? Because carriers don't want to move cheap freight. Okay, that's obvious. Okay, that's why brokers exist, because you're not going to have very many carriers, very many owner operators. And you got a lot of companies that are big companies like Swift and Covenant, Warner, these companies that have 10,000, 20,000 drivers, a couple of thousand drivers and things like this and that in company trucks, yeah, they can afford to move a good portion of the shipper's cheap freight, but they still can't touch the bulk of that freight. They're still dependent upon independent owner operators to move a good portion of their cheap freight. Okay. And this is the main reason why brokers are needed. Because owner operators, if you go directly to a shipper and a shipper tells you, well, I got, $20 million worth of freight, right? 15 million of it is freight that I can afford to pay no more than $1 per mile or $1.20 per mile. Is an owner operator going to touch any of that cheap freight? No, come on. Y'all already telling us now when we call y'all and say, Mr. Owner Operator, how much money you need to move your truck? Well, I don't move my truck for less than $20 a mile. Now that's kind of exaggeration, but you all get my point. Owner operators don't want to move their truck, but they always talk about they don't move their truck less than $10 per mile, $11 a mile, $12 a mile. But at the same breath, they say that we should be going directly to shippers. Go figure that. You can't go directly to shippers if you won't move the shipper's cheap freight. No shipper is going to do a contract with owner operators to only move their good paying freight. You got to agree to move their cheap freight too. because it's all got to go. All of it has to go. So this is the reason why brokers are needed in the industry. This is the main reason why brokers have become so prominent in representing the shipper in moving that freight over to the carriers to move. Now, this is going to get into what we're going to talk about there about negotiating, about how brokers negotiate with shippers. Because all this is going to tie in. And I promise you, if you stick with me, you're going to be like, wow, I just got some knowledge dropped on me. Okay, because it does all tie in. But before I do that, let me go ahead and check on my YouTube people real quick. Let's check out YouTube people. And let me share my screen real quick and check my YouTube people and see what we got going on with people on YouTube. Who do we got joining us so far on YouTube? We got Molly Mel. Good morning, Molly. How you doing? Happy New Year to you too. Molly Mel says Happy New Year, Kevin. I say Happy New Year back. Now, for those of you who are watching us on YouTube, right now we have 5 people watching on YouTube, but we only have one that checked in. Oh, there's another one. There is, look, I can't pronounce your name. I'm gonna try it, but I'm definitely gonna screw it up because it looks like it might be either Russian or Czechoslovakian. Is that Russian or is that Czechoslovakian? Or is that German? It don't look German. It looks like it might be Russian. Or it could be Arabic. I doubt that. It's Bazoom Alex. Okay. I know I screwed that up, but forgive me. I know I screwed it up, but good morning to you. Okay. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you checking in. Okay. I need to brush up on my translations here. Who is this? My name, Mike. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Super, bro. Super, yeah, strong. I love your work. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate you. I know, as much as I do this, these broadcasts, I do them to bring knowledge and awareness to the industry. That also helps me financially because I do have a thing with YouTube where I make money from YouTube. I'm not gonna lie. I always tell y'all don't ever be ashamed of making money. Because if you're ashamed of making money, you shouldn't be in this industry. Okay, you shouldn't be in this industry. So I do it not just for the money, but I also do it because I love what I do and I love bringing knowledge to this industry. And it seems like there's a huge lack of truthfulness and real knowledge coming from a lot of these freight broker and dispatch trainers and these instructors. Damien Stevens is joining us live on the broadcast. He is live with us here with our broadcast here on our Zoom. Hey, Damien, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Maybe he'll check in here in a little bit. But he's always busy, so when he checks in, he's doing several things. He's probably dispatching some freight, talking with some car movers or stuff like that. He's always doing 5 or 6 different things. For those of y'all know, Damien is one of my students. He started with me about 2-3 years ago, about 2 years ago, and he's been doing very well. His dispatch firm is doing very well. He's also one of our hiring partners for our school. And he's also one of our instructors at our new school, the RBBS Logistics Learning Center with the campus here in Tallahassee, Florida, our vocational school. So thanks for joining us, Damien. All right, but as I was saying, but there he is. But Damien, do you agree that this industry on the instructor side has a lot of lack of truthful knowledge?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, because you got a lot of people who are jumping into this thing, and a lot of them have never really dispatched freight or been a freight broker. Believe it or not, you got a lot of these people who are instructing. As instructors, I'm not going to call names or anything, but you got a lot of these instructors who never actually dispatched freight or been a freight broker. Okay, so you have to be careful of who you're deciding to take advice from or learn from. All right. I myself have been both a freight broker, dispatcher, company driver, and an owner operator. Okay, Damien Stevens has been a great dispatcher, great dispatcher. He owns his own dispatch firm. He is when I say he is knowledgeable about the auto hauling, he is the man to see when it comes to auto hauling, moving cars, moving those vehicles. So be careful who you're taking advice from and who you're learning from. You want to make sure you're learning from someone who actually does this for a living, or has done it for a living and been fairly successful at it. Now, as I was saying before, the reason why, let me get back over here to my broadcast here, over here to my thing. I'm going to stop my share here for a second, y'all, so I can get back to my full screen. All right, here we go. All right, the reason why, and I was answering the question of, you hear a lot of carriers say that they should cut out brokers and go straight to the shipper. Well, you can't do that.
Won't happen.
Yeah, that's never going to happen, because you gotta understand why brokers were put in place to begin with. Why brokers were given so much power in this industry to begin with. Why brokers are so prominent when it comes to the load boards and all. They're the ones who's posting all the loads on the load board. The reason why that is because owner operators are never going to run the shipper's cheap freight. Right there.
Right.
Don't we hear it every day, all day? I don't move my, because our pitch that we teach is, Mr. Owner Operator, how much money do you need to move your truck? And what do I always hear, Darren? Well, I don't move my truck for less than, and fill in the blank there.
What, $3?
$3 per mile. And some of them would just be outrageous.
$5.
I don't touch freight for less than $10 a mile. Now, you know they're lying, but that's the mentality that they have. So you mean to tell me if an owner operator went direct to a shipper, and the shipper tells that owner operator, I got $10 million worth of freight, okay? And $7 million of it is freight that I can afford, that I can only afford to pay $1.20 a mile. Is that owner operator going to take any of that freight that's less than $1.20? No. He ain't going to touch it. The owner operator, well, I don't want your freight that's paying $3 a mile or more, or $4 a mile or more. The shipper goes, well, then I can't deal with you. I'm hanging up on you. Because the shipper can't survive without moving their cheap freight. All of it has to go. Cheap freight, mid freight, and high dollar freight. Every last bit of it's got to go. A shipper cannot stay in business without moving good portions of all their freight. All of it has to go. Is that correct, Darren? Is that a correct assessment?
Yep.
Yeah, it all has to go. So here comes brokers. Brokers recognize that shippers were having this problem of moving their cheap freight, because all the owner operators wanted was the high dollar freight. Okay, they ain't gonna move none of the cheap freight. And you got companies like Swift and Warner and JB Hood and Covenant, those places like that, that's got a fleet of company drivers. They'll move a portion of that cheap freight, but even with all their massive numbers of company drivers, they can't even make a dent in the cheap freight that has to be moved. You see what I'm saying? So here come the brokers. Shippers started putting the idea out there that we need somebody specifically that can help us move the cheap freight. So the brokers were installed. The brokers have to have a bond. Why? They have to be federally bonded. They have to have insurance to cover the freight that they're going to, because they're taking ownership of freight from that shipper. Okay? They're taking ownership of freight from the shipper. Now, I'm about to give y'all a lesson here. I'm about to give y'all a real lesson. I'm going to drop some real knowledge on y'all, so you need to pay attention. They need a bond, a federal bond. They need insurance, somewhere between $750,000 and $1.2 million. They need the authority, right? They need a DOT, and then a broker MC numbers. So they need all that stuff. Why? Because they are taking ownership of freight from the shipper. And here is what a broker is primarily doing for the shipper and why the broker represents the shipper. The broker's job is to give the shipper someone who can move their cheap freight, their mid freight, and their high dollar freight. Now, does a broker work for free? No. And if a broker is helping the shipper to move their cheap freight as well as their mid freight and the high dollar freight, does the broker work for the carrier? No. Brokers don't work for the carrier. In no way, shape, or form does any broker work for the carrier or the independent owner operators. Darren, who do the brokers work for?
Shippers.
Shippers. So therefore, brokers are paid by who?
Shippers.
Okay. So that's the case. So can somebody please explain to me why these modern brokers today take money from the carrier? Yeah, that's what they do. They take money from the carrier. That's why a lot of these old school owner operators complain about brokers stealing their money, because you are. You're stealing their money if you're taking money from the carrier. If you're taking, the shipper says, okay, here's what I got. I got $10 million worth of freight. $6 million of it or $7 million of it is cheap freight. That's freight that's less than $1 per mile or less than $1.50 per mile. I got another $2 million that's high dollar freight above, let's say I got another $1 million that's high dollar freight. That's above $4 and $5 per mile. And I got about $3 million or $4 million of mid-range freight. That's between $1.98 and $3.90. Okay, Darren, does that sound about right? Does that sound about the DNA or the makeup of what a shipper has to offer?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's across the board. I don't care what ship you're dealing with, what type of commodity you're dealing with. That is across the board. That is going to be your DNA. That's going to be the structure of what a shipper has out there. Now, with that being said, the broker can go to that shipper where your freight that's paying $1.50 per mile, that's your cheap freight. You got $6 million worth of that freight. Based on what I have access to, my resources, the carrier networks, how many load boards I'm posted on, my experience in the business, I feel confident, Mr. Shipper, that I can move about 25% of your cheap freight this year. Okay? Now you're not negotiating with a shipper on a monthly and a day-to-day basis. You're negotiating with them long term for them to give you ownership of the freight, do a contract for a year or better. Darren, is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
All right. So you're negotiating for a contract for a year or better. This is the broker negotiating with the shipper. I feel confident that I can move 25% of your cheap freight this year. Now that's a lot of money to the shipper. Right? And the broker also says, also with that, with your medium range freight, based on what I have access to, my tools, my resources, my contacts within the industry, how many load boards I'm posting on, and what type of access those load boards are giving me the carriers, how many eyes I can put on this freight. I am confident that if we can work out the right margin, I can also move about 30%, 40%, about 30% of your mid-range freight. And of course, I know I can move about 50 to 60% of your high dollar freight this year. Darren, does that sound like the type of conversation that brokers have with shippers or should be having with shippers?
Should be having.
Exactly, should be having. Mark that, should be having. Now, here is the reason why that conversation should go like that. Now, if that's the case, if the broker is telling the shipper they can move this freight, are the brokers going to do this for free? Darren, are they going to do it for free?
No, they won't.
No, they got to get paid. They got to get paid. And the statute, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Association statute, 370, what is it? CFR 371, 49.1 through 49.4. Right there, that's the statute, right? The statute states that a broker who must have a bond and insurance, right, to take ownership of freight, right, they must be paid from the margin of freight that they negotiate from the shipper. It says it right there in the statute. So why is it do brokers take what the shipper has given them? I got this freight that's paying $1.50 per mile, this freight that's paying $3 to $5 per mile, this freight that's paying more than $5 a mile, and they post it on a load board, the freight that's paying $1.50 per mile, they post it at $1.15 or $1.20 or $1.30. The freight that's paying $2 to $4 per mile, the $4 per mile freight, they're pacing at $3.50 per mile or $3.20, and so on and so on. In other words, they're taking the money that is meant, taking from the money that is meant for who? The carrier. Right, Darren?
Correct.
Now, y'all, that's wrong. That is so wrong, I can't even begin to tell you how wrong that is. It's so wrong till it's damn near criminal, because it's stealing. Is that not the definition of stealing, Darren?
Yep.
That's fraud by theft. That's that's theft by fraud, or however you want to call it. They're stealing. Yeah, I said it. I know that's a strong word to use, but they're stealing. They're stealing the owner operator's money. They're stealing just to show us the sky's blue and the sun comes up every morning. They steal it. Okay, I can't say it no other way, man. That's just what it is. Now, here's what a broker should be doing. Here's what the broker should be doing. The broker at that point, after they determine what the shipper has to offer and what their categories of freight are paying, the broker then needs to negotiate their margin, their pay, their commission, their fee for moving that freight for the shipper. And here is why. Mr. Shipper, Darren, you be the shipper. I'm going to be the broker. Mr. Shipper, I see you got $10 million worth of freight there, Mr. Shipper. Let me share my screen and pull up my calculator here so I can we can illustrate this. As in Spike Lee said in the movie Mo Better. Let's see here. Let me pull up my calculator so we can illustrate this Mo Better. Mo Better, Mo Better, Mo Better. Y'all hold on for a second. Let me get off the screen because it's gonna start double playing the screen here. Let's do this. All right. Let's go over here. Yeah. Let's see if we can do this. And I'm gonna pull up my calculator. And I'm gonna let me go over here to my tools and resources, get y'all over there. I'm gonna pull up my calculator so I can illustrate this Mo Better, Mo Better, Mo Better. You know. How many of y'all watched that movie, Mo Better Blues? Spike Lee, Denzel Washington, who else in that? Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes was a hater in that movie, though, y'all. He was a big hater. But it's all good. It was part of the character. All right. So to illustrate this Mo Better, as we say, all right, You got $10 million worth of freight, Mr. Shipper. Okay.
Yes.
Let me pull this up. Mr. Shipper, you got 10. Oh, come on now. Okay, there we go. Well, then like a full screen. But my thing down here keeps getting in the way. Let me move this out the way. There we go. All right. Mr. Shipper, you got $10 million worth of freight.
Correct.
Move you out the way, Darren. All right. You got $10 million worth of freight, Mr. Shipper. All right. 20%, well, 50% of that freight, which is $5 million of it, is less than, it's paying less than $1.50 per mile. That means you got $5 million worth of freight that's paying less than $1.50 per mile. Somewhere between $1, less than $1 to up to $1.50. No more than that. All right. So let's just use $1.50. So if you got that much freight and it's $1.50 per mile, and let's say the average miles that is going in miles, are ranging, but let's say the average comes out to be 1,000 miles on the miles that the freight has to travel. Okay, that times 1,000 miles. So that means for a 1,000-mile run, that fee for moving that freight is $1,500. Right there?
Right, to the driver.
Exactly. And ain't no owner operator gonna take that. Right? It's gonna be hard to move that freight. Woo, Lord have mercy, boy, you gonna catch hell trying to move that freight. Man, you out your mind, I don't move my truck for less than $3 a mile. Drive van tell you, man, I can't do that, man. I don't move my truck for less than $2 a mile. You see what I'm saying? So it's gonna be hard for you to move that freight. But now what's gonna make it possible for you to move that freight is your margin, your negotiating margin. So you tell the shipper this, Mr. Shipper, because half of your freight, of your $10 million of freight, is cheap freight, it's less than $1.50 per mile, I'm going to need 35% margin to move that freight. If we can agree on 35% margin, I feel confident that I can move about 25% of your cheap freight this year. Now, what does that come up to? Well, if it's $1.50 per mile, 1.5, and then you're going to add plus 35% on top of that. That means the broker's margin is 52.5% per mile, 52.5 cents per mile. Does everybody see that? So that's that much on top of the $1.50, because the $1.50 is for who? Who that's for? That's for the driver. That's for the carrier. That's for the owner operator. That's their money, because that's what the shipper has to pay, that they would pay an owner operator to move that freight, to transport that freight. Now the broker comes in and says, now you're having trouble getting owner operators move that, because owner operators don't move freight for that low. So if you give me an extra 52.5 cents on or extra, 35%, in some cases it's going to be more than that, but it's 35% on whatever that rate per mile is. So in this case, that extra 52.5% times 1,000 miles, go back. That extra 52, hold up, let me go back. That is 0.525. There we go. That times 1,000 miles on that freight, went too far.
525.
That's the extra $525 on top of the $1,500. So that means the broker now has $525 that they get paid for moving if they move that freight. Now, what does the broker do with that? Does a broker now go to the load board and post that cheap freight for $1.50 per mile? Is that what he does, Darren?
Sometimes, yeah. but
Yes, he can do that.
he can do it. Yes.
But what is the chance of him moving that load for that $1.50 per mile?
Yeah, it's very low.
Very low. But if he takes that $1,500 that he's paying on that 1,000-mile run, and he says, well, because I got a lot of this cheap freight that I need to move, but I'm getting my 35% across the board on the medium-sized freight, the high dollar freight. So on the high dollar freight, he can make more money on it, on whatever it may be. So he said, well, for this low dollar freight, I'm gonna take, because I need this freight to move, I'm gonna take $400 from my margin and add it to what I'm gonna pay the carrier. Ooh, does that make sense, Darren? Now, because now, if he takes that $400 from his $525, he's got $125 left, right? But he just bumped his $1,500 payout to the carrier plus 400 more.
It's 19.
He just boosted up to $1,900. Now, do you have a chance of moving that freight, Darren?
Yep.
Yes, because now that freight is not $1.50 per mile. You divide that by what? 1,000, 1,900 divided by what's that?
190. 90 divided by 1,000.
Yeah, divided by 1,000. Now you got $1.90 a mile. A driver will take that because you knocking at the door $2 a mile, right there.
Correct.
Exactly. Now, see, that's how the broker negotiate with the shipper to say that I can move. I feel confident with that margin. I can move 25% of your cheap freight. Let's go and check on my YouTube channel, see who's grasping this knowledge. Let's check to see who is actually grasping this knowledge. Let's go to our YouTube channel and see who's actually grasping the knowledge. Are y'all grasping this on YouTube? If y'all are grasping this on YouTube, let me know that y'all are grasping this on YouTube. And let me know, y'all just give me a little shout out and say, yeah, man, I'm getting this. I'm learning something. This is good information. Okay? Give me some feedback here. Because this is how you should be negotiating with the shipper. Brokers should be negotiating with shippers. Okay? If you're not negotiating in this manner, you're wrong. You're wrong. You are wrong. Because now by being able to post that load on the load board for $1.90 a mile, when other brokers may be posting it, that same load on the load board, what might they be posting it for, Darren?
The same load with different brokers. They probably posting it for the 1,500.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, because you have that all the time. You all see it on the look. You all see it on the load board. Let me pull up one of my load boards here. Let me go to oh shoot. Let me go to my main load board. What's our main load board? What's that? I just click on it sometimes. I forget what it is.
direct freight.
Direct. Thank you. Direct freight. Thank you, Darren. I'm getting old. My all-timers is kicking in. Not to make fun of all-timers, because I think that's the most hated disease there is. I can't imagine having that. But sometimes my memory slips. Let's go to the load board here. Okay. And there are going to be a lot of instances where you're going to see the same load posted by different brokers at different prices. Okay. And the reason why that is, if the brokers are doing their job right, okay, they're going to be a lot of times you're going to see the same load posted. Now today's Saturday, so you may not see it here on Saturday. It's going to be hard to tell here on Saturday. Here's one right here, van, but that's posted by the same broker. Okay, I'm trying to find something that's posted by the same load that posted by different brokers. That's posted by the same broker. That Dallas. to Parkland, to Plainfield. Yeah, it's all the same broker. I'm trying to find a string of loads that's posted by different brokers. Dallas to Pitch Quality, same thing. But trust me when I tell you, you will see loads on the load board that's posted by different brokers, same load, but it's at different prices. Right, Darren? We see that all the time, don't we, Darren? Did I lose Darren?
No, I'm here, so I'm sorry. Yeah.
I mean, you see that all the time. I'm trying to find a case of it here where I can show it to you all. But this being Saturday, you're not gonna have a whole bunch of loads that are gonna be showing up on a Saturday like you would normally doing a Monday through Friday. And the reason why that is, y'all, because most receivers are closed on Saturdays. You know, you can't drop your load on the weekend. You're gonna have to drop it. You have to wait and hold it and drop it that Monday at the start of the week. I'm not finding any, ones on here for a Saturday, but there gonna be some cases when you're gonna jump on the load board and you're gonna see the same load posted by 2, 3, 4 different brokers, and it's gonna be different prices. They'll be close, but they're gonna be different prices. Now, the way brokers are operating now, though, most of them, they're taking that money from the owner operator. They have what the carrier, what the shipper has given, has told them what the load pays, but they have not negotiated a margin. So if the shipper is telling the owner operator, is telling the broker that these loads pay $1.50, this load pays $2, this load pays 98 cents per mile, this load pays $5 a mile, whatever it may be. The brokers are taking that and then they're taking from that and post on load board with this load that pays that the shipper's paying $5 on. I'm going to post it for $4.25. Another broker may say, well, I'm going to post it for $4.35. You don't have very many brokers that. Now, if you see a broker now I'm going to tell you how you're going to recognize a broker who is paying, who is negotiating with the shipper the right way. When you see 3 or 4 brokers post on the load board and those dollar amounts are within $1 or $2 of each other, and then you see one broker got the same load, but it's $500 more or $300 more. Right there?
Right.
That's an indication that broker is negotiating with the shipper the right way. That broker is taking money from their margin and adding it to that load to make it more attractive so that owner operators would grab his load from that shipper than grabbing it from anybody else. I hope y'all are understanding what I'm trying to teach y'all here today. I hope y'all are understanding what I'm trying to teach y'all here today. Here we got some people here that says, good info, I'm getting it. That's from Charles Woods II. Styles Cushman is putting up the knowledge sign, the little with the glasses, raised eyebrow, and fire. Okay, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Look, look, brokers. Now, this is how I'm trying to teach y'all how to negotiate with shippers. Okay, when you're negotiating with shippers, the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna find out what they have to offer, what their makeup is on the structure of the loads that they have. Okay, you don't go into a shipper like a lot of these brokers go into shippers, and the first thing they say is, they jump in and they're like, how much freight you got? Just crazy. How much freight you got? Okay, all right. And how much? Well, let me ask you, how much freight you got that's paying between $2 and I'm just paying at least $2.25 per mile. That's the wrong way to start off with the shipper. Right there, and that is the wrong way to start off with the shipper. I'm gonna give y'all the best line to start with the shipper. Mr. Shipper, I'm a broker. I've got good experience here. I'm in the industry. I have access to about 25 different load boards, so I can reach a lot of owner operators. Okay. I've got, if you've got, freight broker agents scattered out, across the country, don't say that I have freight broker agents. Say I have branches. Okay. I've got several branches spaced out across the United States. They're strategically placed to cover the lanes. Y'all see, I'm saying the same thing, but I'm saying it in a way that's more impressive to the shipper right there.
Right, correct.
Exactly. I have several branches across the United States strategically placed to cover all lanes. Okay. The question that I want to ask you is, how can I help you move your cheap freight? How much cheap freight do you have that I can help you move? That's where you want to start. You don't want to start by asking the shipper how much freight you got that's paying $225 or more. Shipper don't need no help moving their high dollar freight right there. They don't need no help moving that. If you want to get noticed by a shipper, if you want a shipper to seriously consider going into a year or more contract with you, address how you can move their cheap freight. Do that. Do that. If you address how you can move their cheap freight, I guarantee you're going to have the ear of that shipper. Now, the question is, how do you address moving that cheap freight and still make it profitable for you? You got to negotiate your margin. We come back to the margin right there, because that's the way it was supposed to be done. That's the way it's set up to be done. That's the way the Federal Motor Carrier Association said that you should be doing
it. Hey, Calvin.
Yeah.
Another thing, a lot of people don't know that the shippers are the one that really set the rates. Mm-hmm. Shippers set the rates, not brokers.
Exactly. Shippers set the rate, but brokers get to set their margin. They get to negotiate their margin.
Correct.
And by a broker setting the margin and negotiating the margin with the shipper, then the broker can sweeten that deal when they post to the load board and make it more attractive for the owner operator. So then they can actually move more of that cheap freight along with the regular freight. This is how successful brokerage firms make money, because they successfully negotiate margins. They successfully negotiate margins. And shippers love to see, oh, Lord, man. They love to see you lazy brokers come and don't negotiate margins, because what are they doing now? They get to move their high dollar freight and their mid-dollar freight and don't have to pay nothing for it.
Yeah.
They don't. Because they was already offering to pay the amount that they have, that they've set on it. Now they get this dummy to go out there and move it and don't have to pay no margin. So quite naturally, oh yeah, we got this sucker.
And then they stuck with it.
Yeah, then they stuck with it. Come on, man. Y'all need to, Lord, y'all need to go back and do some research, or at least sign up for our course. I'm like Kermit now, but that's none of my business. And it's like Kermit does it. He sip on his teeth. but that's none of my business. Look, man, look. If the instructors that you all have paid for and they're not teaching you all this stuff in their quote unquote freight broker training, ain't none of my business. You got the wrong instructor. I'm serious, y'all. Y'all need to learn. Y'all need to do some research on these people you all are so-called learning from. Okay, there's a reason why I have a reputation in this industry for being brutally truthful, because I am. Darren, how long have you known me?
About 3 years, over 3 years.
Yeah. Have you ever known me to not be brutally truthful?
Yeah, that's true. Always truthful.
I'm gonna tell you too, like my grandmama used to say, TIS is. Now I don't know what that spells. TIS is, but I'm gonna tell you like a TIS is. Okay. Because I done been a broker and I know how to do it the right way. I've been an owner operator. I know how to run a truck. I've been a company driver. I know how to drive a truck. I'm a dispatcher. I know how to manage an owner-operator's business because that's what we are. We're owner-op business managers, more so than dispatchers. We are owner-op business managers. But today's training is for our broker people who have paid that bond, who want to become brokers. Okay, if you are a new broker out there and you want some real training, listen to what I'm telling you now. If you're listening to this and this makes sense to you, if this is setting off a light bulb in your head, you say, man, I never knew this stuff, then you need to sign up for our logistics training. You really do. Or at least you need to take this knowledge, do some research, and learn this stuff and how to do this stuff the right way. Because all you're doing is hurting the industry and you're hurting yourself. Old school owner operators, they're complaining. There, you hear them all the time. Brokers don't do nothing but steal our money, right?
All the time. All
the time. Because you are. You're stealing their money if you're not doing it the way I just laid it out to you. Okay? You're stealing their money. And you don't want to do that. I mean, you don't want to build your brokerage firm on theft. Seriously, y'all, you just don't want to do that. All right, so everybody sharing my screen. Let's check on my YouTube people again. See who we got in the house on YouTube. All right, we've had some. We got quite a few people here on YouTube watching. Let me check my Facebook groups. Check my Facebook and see if we got any questions on Facebook here. Let's see what we got on Facebook. Has anybody dropped any questions or what we got here? Someone just mentioned me in a comment in Dispatch Masters. Ashley just mentioned me in a comment. Let's see what the people on Dispatch Masters has to say about our broadcast this morning, about the knowledge that we're dropping. Now, this group, Dispatch Masters, and a lot of these other groups and stuff. She's looking at probably one of my other things that they mentioned me in a comment in, and dispatching only. Calvin Butler get after do what percentage? And I think that's something else. I don't know if we're on the right thing or not, but I'm looking for someone who mentioned me in a comment, and I thought maybe they might have a question. Yeah, let me hit it again. All right, Ashley mentioned you in a comment in Dispatch Masters about an hour ago. Okay, I guess this is the one that we looked at, but I guess it's supposed to be one of these comments down here. Just to let y'all know what we're looking at. Someone asked me. Someone basically said, because I was posting stuff saying that we train people to earn 100K per year dispatching freight, and someone made the comment, where if you need to stop with the 100K stuff if you don't make 100K. So I dropped my 1099s. Yeah, you know me. So I dropped my 1099 from 2018, 19, 2020. All of them over 100K dispatching freight. So someone probably responded to that. I'm trying to find one who was responding to something that we just posted. Shannon Nicole commented on a post you're following. That's not anything. So apparently no one has asked any questions just yet on the post that we've posted on this live that we're doing right now on our training. I don't know if the administrative have posted it yet, if it's up live on their yet or not, but they'll see it later in retrospect. All right, so let's go back to our YouTube channel real quick. Check on those people again. All right, does anybody have any questions from YouTube, Facebook? If you have any questions so far, let me get your questions, because we're here to educate. Okay, we're here to educate. This is what we do every Saturday. for the Brokers Hour. And this Saturday, we're doing broker shipper negotiations. Questions, anybody, real quick, before I continue? Because after I continue, I'm going to get into why you should have a written contract. Okay? Why you should have a broker shipper contract. Anybody have any questions thus far on how you should be negotiating with shippers on your margin? Anybody on YouTube have a question? I'm gonna wait here for a minute and give people time to type it in. All right, I'll come back to it and I'll try to answer questions in retrospect if no one's able to post one right now while we're live here on YouTube looking for the questions. Hopefully somebody will start typing and have a question or something. But anyway, all right, let's get into why. I hope everybody understands how you should be negotiating. Okay, that's first. I hope you all have gotten and understand how you should be negotiating with shipping and how you should be negotiating your margin and the importance of why you should be negotiating that margin, because that's what's going to help you to move their cheap freight, their mid-size freight, and their high dollar freight and make money on all of it. Right, Darren? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that make a lot of sense.
Yeah, this is why it needs to be done this way, because now you can effectively move all phases of the freight that the shipper has, and you can make money on all of it. Now, the shipper may come back and say, well, 35%, that's kind of steep there, Darren or Mr. Butler. Okay. Well, Mr. Shipper, what were you thinking? So, Darren, you know I like that though. What were you thinking? That's my go-to reply. That's my hit them back real quick. Y'all ever look, a shout out to Mr. Sidney Poitier. He died yesterday. Sidney Poitier, one of my all-time favorite actors. Y'all remember the original In the Heat of the Night? Darren, you remember that?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, his acting in that movie was so good. The movie was originally In the Heat of the Night, like the show, The Heat of the Night, but this was 1967. Okay, the original title was In the Heat of the Night, but on opening night, his performance was so powerful. After opening night, they changed the name of the movie till they called me what, Darren? My wife just shouted out. They called me Mr. Tibbs.
Is it Tibbs or Tim's?
No, it's Tibbs. Mr. Tibbs. Virgil Tibbs. That's his name. That was the character's name. Because there was a line in the movie, there was a scene in the movie where because this is Deep South now. He's investigating the murder down in the Deep South. We got these old plantation owners, all these racist people down south, whatever. And he's questioning this white man who's very powerful, very rich, used to own plantations, all this other stuff. So he's a detective from up north coming back down south to investigate, a murder of some black people. And he was originally from this town in Mississippi or in Georgia, in Sparta, Georgia, somewhere. But anyway, he's questioning this white man. He asked the white man a question. I guess the white man took offense to it, and the white man slapped him. He immediately backhanded him back. Pap! Now that had never been seen on film in 1967. A black man slapping a white man in the Deep South. Right there.
Right.
Now, immediately after he slapped him, the white man kind of fell back and looked at him and said, there was a time when I'd have had you shot for that. You know what? And doggone Virgil Tibbs looked at Sidney Poitier, looked at him, he just stared at him, and he did this number right here. Did that shoulder shrimp. and then one of the white man's flunkies asked him, said, boy, what's your name? He said, they call me Mr. Tibbs. And so they changed the name of the movie after the opening night till they called me Mr. Tibbs. So anyway, shout out to Sidney Poitier for just a great man. He didn't and someone just just came on here in silent style and said, Mr. Tibbs. That's right. Y'all know who Mr. Tibbs is. Y'all know who Mr. Tibbs is. But but anyway, I just thought I'd make mention of that because look, in brokering and doing this, you got to be respected. You don't want to go down in this industry or build your brand in this industry on stealing from owner operators. You want to be respected, okay? And that's it. If y'all don't understand how I kind of related things like talking about, Sidney Poitier and all this stuff, because it ties into having respect. Here's a man who came up in a time when Black people were not respected. And it was not fashionable to respect Black people, but he demanded what their respect.
Right.
In every role, in everything he did, he demanded respect. So now he has passed on, but he passes on with the legacy of what? Respect.
Yep.
Okay. So you want to be respected in this industry. You want to be respected in this industry. And the way you do that is by doing things the right way. You gotta do right by your own operators. You got to do right by them. You got to do things the right way. And there's a way to do things the right way and make plenty of money. If you did it the right way, making money is no problem. It's not hard to make money on cheap freight if you're doing it the right way. I did a course about 2 years ago on how to profit from cheap freight. And I talked about just the same thing 2 years ago. If you operate your business the right way, you can make money on cheap freight. Owner operators can make money on cheap freight. Why? Because the broker has negotiated a margin, and the broker has added some of their margin to the cheap freight to sweeten the deal for the owner operator so everybody can make money. If you're not being taught this by your freight broker instructor, whatever course you joined, whatever course you took, if they didn't teach you this, if they're not teaching you this, then you're in the wrong place. And with that, I sip my tea, but it ain't none of my business. Right? Let's read some of the comments here. Somebody says, Mr. Tibbs. Somebody says, busy trucking. That's right. Raymond Rodriguez. I see you're busy there, Mr. Raymond Rodriguez. You're busy trucking. All right. Now, so let's get into contracts. Someone called me the other day. One of my broker students called me up yesterday, as a matter of fact, yesterday afternoon. And she wanted to know, we were talking about this very thing, this negotiating with shippers. And she was saying, well, how do I guarantee that I get my margin from the shipper? I said, what do you mean? She said, I said, well, you got to do a contract. She said, a contract? I said, a contract. Now she was one of our new members. And she was one of our new members. And she had actually taken a course from somebody else. I'm not going to tell you what course she took. She took this freight broker training course through somebody else. Paid them $1,500, $1,600 or something like that. And she didn't know that you need a contract between you and the shipper. Go figure that, Darren. People, let me tell you something. Don't you ever in your lifetime do any type of job or any type of agreement where you're being paid for a service that you don't have something in writing that states that outline what you're being paid. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Right there. Don't do it.
All right.
That's your dispatch agreement. That's a contract. If you're a dispatcher, right? Contract between the dispatcher and the owner operator to pay the dispatcher a certain percentage or fee or flat fee for the service of finding them freight that's suitable for that owner operator. Your broker and carrier agreement. That's a contract between the broker and the carrier. That the broker will process the paperwork when the carrier runs low. The broker is saying that the carrier will be paid the amount that's on what? The rate confirmation contract. So why is it you would go into a negotiation with a shipper or into an agreement with the shipper on word of mouth alone that the shipper's gonna pay you for moving that freight? people have a contract. If the shipper doesn't offer a contract, better yet, you print up a contract. You come up with a contract. All right. Our onboarding site has a built-in carrier shipper contract. Right there, you see our onboarding site, right?
Yeah.
Share screen. Let me take y'all to our onboarding site. This is one of the things that when brokers come and join our platform, they have access to a shipper onboarding site. Here. Oh. Ship. I think it's ship with RBBS.com. Right?
Going back to it right now.
I think it's ship with RBBS.com. I think that's it. I think that's it. And yes, that is it. All right. This is our sample onboarding site. As I told y'all, I used to be a broker. My company used to be a brokerage firm before I commuted over to a dispatch firm. So RBBS Transport LLC was my brokerage firm back in 2017. And this was my shipper's onboarding site. Okay. Now, every broker, if you're a broker, you should have a shipper's onboarding site, or you should have a shipper's onboarding packet. And in that shipper's onboarding packet, you have a broker shipper contract. Right there?
That's right.
It's much easier to set it up as a website. Why? Because then all you have to do is shoot the shipper the link, shipper goes to it, and they can see everything you have in a snapshot. Just a click away. Right there?
Right, that's true.
Yeah. So this is why we kept this up and we keep it running, so we can show our brokers who are joining our platform in our training for brokers, we can show them, what a shipper's onboarding site should look like. You have the home page, which has a snapshot where you can access everything they want to right here from the home page. They can go to our shipper, shipper onboarding packet, which includes the contract and the credit check and all that type of stuff. They can go to our contact us. They can go to about us. They can go to the RBBS LLC, our Twitter page. They can go to our videos, our YouTube channel. They can go to our RBBS Transport, our Facebook page. Okay, it's a snapshot. Now, up here, you have why RBBS Transport LLC. Why should a shipper do business with you? We're going to have up here why shippers should do business with you. Who are we? RBBS Transport LLC was formed and registered as a limited liability company for 2016. That's right. I've been doing this thing for a very long time, dog, since 2016. With 25 branch locations throughout the U.S. Now, did I actually have 25 branch locations? No, Dan. What did we have? We had 25 freight broker agents, right?
Agents, correct.
Yeah, scattered across the United States, right? So, is that the same as having branches? You all got to learn how to word things, especially when you're just starting out. You have to not lie, but you have to reword things to cast yourself in a prominent light with shippers. I didn't lie, not at all. We had more than 25. By the time we finished up, I was a broker. We had over 70 freight broker agents. That's right, over 70 freight brokers, because we were scaling our business. Ooh, wow. I love that word, scaling your business. That's one of the things y'all gonna learn when you take our course, either as a dispatch firm or as a freight brokerage firm. We're headstrong on showing you how to scale your business, because you want to grow. You don't want to stay where you're at. But anyway, across the U.S., currently operates throughout the U.S. Currently operates a facility as a facilitator of freight movement for our customers throughout North America. Our physical address at that time was 1400 Village Square Boulevard, number 3, Tallahassee, Florida 32312, which is not very far from where my home is right now. Our permit and MC number was that right there. We had a federal ID number. We had a SAC code right there. We had our banking reference was Bank of America. Our surety bond number was right there, 75 $1,000 from that insurance bond. Our insurance covers $300,000 on contingent cargo and $1 million in liability, $1.3 million of insurance. Carrier, the reason why they should join with us, why? Because we have things like carrier verification fraud check. Okay, never load a bad carrier or a bad driver again. Each of our branch locations can instantly conduct full carrier verification, carrier qualifications, and fraud detection. Now, how were we able to do that? Why? Because we had a TMS system that had all that in it, and all of our agents had access to they had to log into our TMS system right there.
Yeah, that's correct.
And because TMS provided all this to us through our TMS system, guess what? We had the capability to do all that type of stuff. Here again, I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. I'm just wording it in a way that makes it more prominent to who? The shipper. This is a trait that you all are going to have to learn, because a lot of shippers don't want to work with what their new
carriers.
Brokers. Exactly, new brokers, right?
And new brokers mostly, I would say.
Yeah, they don't want to work with new brokers. So if you can bolster what you can offer a shipper, show them that, yes, I may be new, but look what I have. I have 25 branch offices. We have all this technology, just like the big boys do, to make sure your load is delivered, picked up, safe, and delivered safe, and it's kept track of the whole time. We never lose sight of your freight. These are things that are going to help you to win over a shipper, even if you are new. And by having a site like this, that just impresses the shipper even more, because they see this company actually took the time to go and create an onboarding site. But this is all stuff that we have, and you all can read through this stuff. Driver, truck, and track and trace via cell phone, GPS, all this different type of stuff. Our simply call, the onboarding process, we make it very easy. Simply call or complete our new customer onboarding registration by phone. By phone. Utilizing this option, RBBS Transport LLC can have you set up and ready to ship loads within minutes. Not hours, not days, but minutes. Okay? So that's the, why us? There's some more stuff over here too. The automatic route review and load optimization. We explained that. I mean, you got to give a shipper a reason to work with. All right. Now that combined with your knowledge of how to negotiate margins, that is going to impress the hell out of a shipper, because they know they're dealing with someone who knows what the hell they are doing. And they know that if you know what you're doing and you've negotiated that margin, they know that you can move their cheap freight, their medium freight, and their high dollar freight. And that's all the shipper wants right there.
That's all they want. For their freight to move.
Yeah, that's all they want. They want their freight moved. They want to feel confident that you can do that. And this is how you instill that confidence, by showing that you know what you're doing and doing it the right way. Okay, all those things have to be in place. Then we had our contact us page. They can contact us. All our contact information, had a form that they can fill out, contact us that way. Then we had our shipper onboarding packet. Now this is the thing right here, that shipper onboarding packet. Sometimes shippers want to see the whole packet. Sometimes they just may want to see one or two things right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if a shipper just wants to see one or two things, you don't want to have them to have to go and view the whole packet just to see those one or two things. Right there, that's not convenient. So we made it very convenient for them to either view the whole packet, or they can view just one or two things. If they want to see the packet in Word document, they can click that and get the whole packet. Or if they just want to see our letter of authority, they click that and they just got just our letter of authority. If they want to see just our certificate of liability insurance, they click that and it pulls up the certificate of liability insurance. You see that? Bam, there it is right there. Okay? Or if they just wanted to see our form BMC I'm85, our surety bond, they click that and they were able to open up our surety bond. Bam, there it is right there. And if they wanted to see our SAT code, click that. opens up our SAT code, our certification letter. Bam, there it is right there. These are the things, this is how you set up. Then we had our W-9 and all that stuff. Now, if they wanted to see our whole packet in PDF form, they can click this and they got the whole packet, which also includes what? The the broker shipper agreement. This is our entire packet. Okay, onboarding packet. Why should you partner with RBBS LLC? There's that thing there again. Come on down here. You got RBBS Transport new customer setup packet, physical address, all of our credentials. Okay, come on down here. You get into signing up with signing up to do business with RBBS Transport LLC is both simple and fast. You can do it by phone. You can do it here online with our packet. Very simple, very quick and easy, right? And then down here you have what? The new customer onboarding checklist, which is all the documentation, the agreements and application must be signed. Please note, agreements and application must be signed by an executive officer with your prospective company. This is that contract, that agreement that we're talking about. Every broker should have an agreement for the shippers to sign, or the shippers should present an agreement for you to sign. Now, I'm gonna give y'all the number one, the biggest thing you should know about contracts, okay? The person who writes the contract benefits the most. Right there. Listen to what I'm telling y'all now. Listen to what I'm telling y'all. There's never been a contract written from the Declaration of Independence to the Constitution, all the way up to just mergers and just buying stuff, whatever the case may be. The contract always favors the person who wrote it. Is that true, Darren?
That's correct.
100%. A person who writes out the contract is never going to put themselves at a disadvantage. So what does that tell you all? You all should prepare your own shipper broker contract. That way it's convenient. You have it on hand. So when you contact the shipper and the shipper says, no, I like what you're talking about, let's put something together. You don't wait for them to say, well, we'll draw up a contract and send it to you. No, Mr. Broker, Mr. Shipper, don't worry about it. I already got one ready for you. I'm going to send it over to you for you to review. Right there. That's how you want to do business, people. Not only that, it's going to impress the SHIT out of shipper. It's going to impress them. Because not only do you know how to negotiate, not only are you knowledgeable about margins, not only are you ensuring them and giving them confidence that you're going to be able to move their cheap freight along with their medium freight and their high dollar freight, all of it. Not only are they confident that you can do all of this and still make money on both the cheap freight, the medium freight, and the high dollar freight, shippers going to make their money, carriers going to make their money, but they also have the confidence knowing that here is someone who took the time and has the know-how and the skill to enact the contract. If you exemplified all those characteristics, what do you think the possibility, what do you think the chances of when you contact shippers, your closing percentages will go up? Of course they will. Because you're showing them that you know what you're doing. And they're in business with the right person. New customer profile. This is for the shipper to fill out all this information here. Driver requirements, contact, primary person, other names, all this other stuff. Application and credit agreement. Gotta have that credit agreement, y'all. Gotta have that. And then you get down here into the contract phase of it. There's that contract. Broker shipper transportation agreement. Now, this is here for all of our students who are part of our brokerage training. They can come in here, they can copy this, they can, copy this word for word, but just change where it says take out our information, put your information in. Don't lie. Don't say you have a surety bond, you don't have one. Don't put in our insurance, you're gonna put your insurance forms and stuff in there. This is an example of how this should be, and you can use our contract as a sample. Does everybody get that? See, look, if you're taking training for someone that they have not provided y'all with this type of stuff, maybe you need to, take some different training. But that's none of my business. Okay. So this is how y'all should be doing business. You all know who Michael Jones was. Michael Jones at the time was my partner. He was the CEO and I was the COO of RBBS Transport LLC. Michael Jones represented my investors, because another big part of being a broker, what do you got to have there?
Money.
Money. You got to have the money, y'all. You got to have the money. If you ain't got the money as a broker, now this is something that a lot of broker instructors not going to tell y'all. And I hate to tell y'all this, but it's true. It's true. If your financials are not in order, a lot of shippers not even going to touch you. And when I mean by your financials in order, if you ain't got a couple $100,000 in the bank somewhere backing you so that you can possibly at some times prepay for 10 to 20% of the freight that a shipper is giving you ownership of, because that's a new broker, the shipper's going to want, most of the time, what they want, Darren? Collateral. Right there?
Yep.
They're not just going to turn over 10, 20, $30 million of freight to someone who ain't got no collateral. Come on, man. Is you out your mind? You want me to turn over all my $500 million worth of freight to you, and you ain't got enough money in the bank to pay for 2% of it? At least 10, 20%. The smallest ship I know had $1 million worth of freight. And most shippers want you to be able to put up at least 5% collateral, 10% or 20, in some cases 20% collateral. Gotta have that money. If you ain't got money, you better have been in business for at least a year, season. Right there?
Right.
And you better have that Dun & Bradstreet pay this credit score. 92 or better. Best you get is 100. Look, I know a lot of us. I didn't know that. I took my trainer didn't tell me that. My instructor didn't tell me that. The school I went to didn't tell me all that. Well, maybe you should get yourself another trainer. But they ain't none of my business. Gotta have that money. When I started my brokerage firm, I went out and looked for investors. And that's how I came across Mr. Michael Jones. Mr. Michael Jones was part of an organization, a big law firm here in Tallahassee that also had a sports management firm. I knocked on everybody. Everybody I thought had money. I went to hospitals, doctor's office, dentists, lawyers, sports management firms, insurance agencies, car dealerships. I was hitting up everybody who had money. Hey, I'm starting a freight brokerage firm. I'm looking for some backers, some financial backers. Here's my executive summary. Here's what I've done so far. How can you help me out? Finally came across Mr. Michael Jones. Mr. Michael Jones had connections with a very powerful law firm here in town. Hooked me up with that law firm. Got me an audience with them. Gave my pitch. They also own a sports management firm. They both liked it. They both put up $266,000 each to back my brokerage firm. By having my connection with them and them as partners, when people ran my brokerage firm credit report, my Dun & Bradstreet credit report, it also pulled up my partners. Law firm that's been around, and the law firm that was backing me was the law firm that spearheaded the NFL concussion lawsuit. Also, the same law firm that won, I think it was a $10 billion settlement from the tobacco industry for the state of Florida. Not just won it, but collected on it. It's one thing to win a lawsuit, right there, but it's another thing to actually collect that money, right? So these, and my other backer was a sports management firm, a professional sports agency that represented professional sports agents. NFL, tennis, basketball, volleyball, hockey, that type of thing. See, if you're gonna jump into this industry, into the freight broker side of it, freight brokering is much more serious than dispatching when it comes to your credentials and how you have to be set up and what you have to have access to, your financials, all that type of stuff. Okay. Close to 89, 90% of first-year freight brokers go out of business the first year. That's a frightening statistic, but it's true. And the reason why they do, because they're not set up properly. Because they go their first year trying to get business. No shipper wants to sign them. Nobody wants to do business with them. And they can't survive that first year because they had to pay out that, because they got to pay a quarterly bond payment, $800 to $1,000 a quarter. They got to pay their insurance payment. They're putting out $300 to $3,600 down. They're paying $350 to $352 a month for 9 months out of the year. I mean, they got to pay all this overhead, all this compliance and everything they got to do with drug testing and all that. It's just so much stuff they got to pay for, and they ain't bringing in no money. Oh, we got to go out of business because nobody told me that I needed all this stuff. My instructors that I paid them $1,600, $2,000, $3,000 for their course, and they didn't tell me none of this. I wish I had gotten me another instructor, but they ain't none of my business. This is freight brokering, y'all. This is the truth about freight brokering. Not that glazed over version that y'all get from people who just trying to get you to take their course. Okay, this is the truth about freight brokering. And I want y'all to understand this because this is serious. This is real. This is what you're going to run into, whether you know it or not, you're going to run into it. Okay, you got to have these things in place if you want to be a successful freight broker, especially just starting out. Check my YouTube channel, see what we got. Kind of response we get from people. Raymond Rodriguez says, hey, salute to you, Raymond. Hey, I was 10 Mountain Division, U.S. Army. Top of the mountain to you. Airborne. Yeah. Jumping out them planes, doing them halo jumps. At least you shoot about 100 feet over the ocean floor, 2 miles out, swim in, be ready to fight. So yeah, I did that. All right, y'all. Look, this is freight brokering. This is the truth about freight brokering. And today's course has been, our day's class has been on negotiating and why negotiating with shippers is important and why doing it the right way benefits everybody involved in the process. Also, we've also covered why owner-operators can't go directly to shippers because they're never going to run the shippers cheap freight. They're never going to do it, okay? My dog back there is complaining because he want me to let him out of his cage. Okay, he's telling me I've been on this thing long enough. It's time for you to give me some attention. And he's right. Look, y'all, I appreciate y'all for joining us. If you want to join our platform, if you've taken someone else's platform, I can't help that. If you spent money with someone else, I can't help that. All I can tell you is this: if you spent money with someone else, if you take someone else's platform and you didn't get this type of training, you don't have this type of stuff, this type of information is not being conveyed to you, you need to switch trainers. You need to switch instructors. That's just the truth of what it is. So if you want to be trained properly and you want to join our platform, you can do so by going to RBBSLLC.com or RBBSLLC.org. Okay. If you go to, when you go there, you're going to go over here to where it says services. This is our homepage for our school and vocational training school. We do both on-site training with guaranteed career placement at the end of the 2 weeks of on-site training. We're the only school out there that has guaranteed career placement from freight brokerage firms and state licensed dispatch firms. They are all agreed to hire any graduate from our school. Also, the reason why they do that, because they are the instructors at our school. All of our instructors are freight brokerage firm owners and or dispatch firm owners. Okay? So, no other school has ever been set up like this. No other school offers guaranteed career placement, but we do. Now, you can register with our on-site training here at our campus here in Times, Florida. Just click where it says register for career training. Now, if you want to take our online course, go down here over to our services page. Go to where it says our online training. Click that right there. It's going to take you over to our online training page. It's going to tell you right here. Our online training is offered by the National Dispatchers Network. That's our back office site that all of our online people get to log into. You get access to a whole bunch of stuff. Here's what you're going to get. Training in the convenience of your own home. Our online platform will train you to earn 100K plus from home dispatching freight. Darren, did we train you to earn 100K from home?
Yeah. I trained. Yeah, and I mean, I took every bit of the lessons, and I'm good.
Hey, look, we will train you to earn 100K from home. Okay, we'll also provide you, okay, dispatching freight from home, and provide you with the online network tools, resources, and training to ensure your success. What do you get? You're gonna get access to more than 100 load boards. Our students don't have to pay for load boards. We pay for them. We have negotiated with load board sites to pay a higher membership fee than the average person was. Like in some cases, we may be paying $600-700 per month for the first 200 people that log on using our logins. Anything after, when they have more than 200 people log in on the IP address, we may be charged $5 or $10 per additional person per month. That's how we're able to do this. A lot of people say, well, how do y'all do that and get everybody onto the load board and they don't have to pay for it? Well, there you go. Because we pay the price to be the boss. Okay? Yeah, we pay a lot of money to give y'all all this access. But we have a lot of people who are paying us a monthly subscription fee of $29 per month up to $99 per month. When you got more than 900 people paying monthly subscription fees every month, then yes, we can afford to pay those higher fees for those load boards that we give you access to. So we give you access to more than 100 load boards, so our students don't have to pay for load board access. We give you access to more than 140,000 hours of operational training videos. Nobody in the industry has more continuous hours of operational training videos than we do. You all get access to all. We've been recording since 2016. We also give you access to more than 19 million direct shippers. We have 2 or 3 different areas that you all can go into our back office and look at our shippers list. Our verified shippers actually is just incredible. Right there, not only does it give you who the shippers are, tells you how much volume they're doing per year, but we give you the name of the person in charge, the phone number of the person in charge, the direct email to the person in charge, and the title of the person in charge. So you know you're dealing with somebody who can make a decision, and you're not calling up the secretary or the janitor or the security guy. And you got to talk to somebody who got to talk to somebody who got to talk to somebody who got to talk to somebody to get you access to somebody who can make a decision. You don't want that. You don't want that. All right. We're also going to give you access to every registered owner-operator in the United States. So you made a contact every owner-operator and hit them with a pitch from the scripts that we provide you with. We provide you with scripts on what to say to owner-operators to get them to sign your dispatch agreement, what to say to shippers to get them to sign your broker-carrier agreement, what to say to brokers to get them to start sending you their loan list every morning. Whew. We also give you access to our live training. Every Thursday night, we have dispatch training from 7 p.m. till about 9:30. Every Saturday, we have the Broker's Hour, our dedicated broker training from 10:15 up until about 12 or 12:15. Mondays, periodically, not every Monday, but most of the time, if we got enough people who want to attend, we have our franchise training because we do have a franchise opportunity. Okay? Now, we also give you access to our logistics library that has every word, phrase, and term ever used in trucking, so you know what you're talking about. You don't sound like a complete idiot when you're talking to the truckers or shippers or freight brokers, but then you're able to speak their language. Okay? We also give you access to our network of more than 2,967 industry professionals who all come together on our various private Facebook groups. We have the RBBS Logistics Center. We have freight brokers and freight brokers versus dispatcher group. That's our group. We have freight broker trainers and instructors. That's our group. We have who wants to become a freight broker or dispatch firm owner. That's our group. We have CDL professionals. That's our group. We have we got a whole bunch of groups on Facebook that we have that you all have access to. That only we don't give access to everybody. We also have our new Clubhouse private group on Clubhouse. Clubhouse is a platform where you all can go and any one of our members can start a conversation on Clubhouse. And when you start that conversation, all the other members are invited to attend that conversation you're having on Clubhouse, and you all can all talk to each other, help each other to understand the industry, understand our platform, help each other to find and book freight, help each other to be successful. I know the last class I took and the other classes I took, they don't allow the students to talk to each other. You might need a new class. That's none of my business. So you get all this access. You get all this access. And our most popular enrollment is our individual enrollment plan, which is $349.95 plus tax to join. That's the enrollment fee. And you just pay $39.95 per month to get access to all these load boards, all these direct shippers, all our training, all our videos, connection with all our members and our network. Okay, there you go. So you can get that. Now, we also have several other enrollment options. We have a premium plan that not only includes all of this, but it also includes 3 hours of private consultation each month with me. Okay, that's a $300 value because we charge $100 per hour for private consultation. Darren is one of our consultants. You can book him, book Larissa Pompey, book Kwame Smith. They all charge $100 per hour. So our private consultations are very valuable. But with this particular plan, you get a $300 value that comes with it because you get 3 hours of private consultation each month with me. Okay? And that plan is $99.95 per month plus tax. There is no enrollment fee for it, just $99.99 per month plus tax. We also have a veterans enrollment. For those of you who are veterans, you get a discount. You pay only $249.95 per month plus tax on your enrollment, and you just pay $29.95 per month to get access to all these back office tools, resources, training support, $140,000 videos, our network, the whole 9 yards. And if you're not a veteran, you can access our individual enrollment. Again, that's $349.95 on your enrollment plus tax, and just $39.95 per month to access all your back office tools, resources, training support, everything we just talked about. That's it, people. I'm gonna give y'all the link here to our online services posted on YouTube for you all to go to if you choose to. Go to YouTube. I'm gonna post it right down here for you all to have. There it is. Earn 100K from home. All right. So I thank you all. I thank you all for joining us. I thank you all for supporting us and following us. Since 2016, we've been doing this for quite some time. Thank you all. Darren, I thank you for joining us, man. You always show up, show out. You know how that is. I thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Much continued success in your dispatch firm, which is DZR Logistics, y'all. Darren, you got your website up and running yet?
That's what I'm actually doing while I'm on the class right now. I'll have it done by this week, though.
All right, so y'all give him a shout out and make sure y'all visit his website when he's done, which should be, what is it, DZRlogistics.com?
Yeah, DZRlogistictransport.com.
DZRlogistictransport.com. It's under construction right now, but he'll have it finished up hopefully by the end of this week. So look, y'all visit his website. He is very good at what he does, but especially for those of you out there who got some cars that need to be moved, that's the man to see right there. All right. I thank you all. I appreciate you all. Shout out to all my YouTube people. Let's give them a shout out. Men and Mel, thank you. Appreciate you for joining us. Bazoom Iglok. I can't pronounce that. I know I screwed it up, but I apologize. But I appreciate you joining me just the same. My name is Mike. Hey, Mike. Thank you for joining us, Mike. I appreciate it very much, bro. We also have on here Charles Woods II. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you joining us. We have Styles Christian. Thank you for joining us. He knows about that. They call me Mr. Teals. We have Raymond Rodriguez. Thank you for joining us. He's busy trucking over there. And that's about it for our guests, in-house guests here on YouTube who have joined us. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all for watching. Appreciate all the likes and everything that y'all have done to our YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and subscribe. As YouTube members, you all don't have access. Our YouTube members have access to our premium content on YouTube. All of our videos are not available to everybody on YouTube, but if you click our membership and you become a training member, I think it's like $24 and some odd cents. If you come up to that type of membership, then you get access to all of our videos on YouTube. So I appreciate you. I love each and every last one of you all. Thank you all so very much for tuning in and doing what you do. For those of you who are looking to join our platform, you can join our platform at the RBBSLLC.com or the RBBSLLC.org. Okay, that's our website address. If you want to join us and join our platform and get some real training, some good training, okay? Not this stuff, I don't know what y'all have been used to, but if you want some real training, some good training, this is where you're going to do it at. Look, I appreciate each and every last one of you all. Thank you all so very much. My time is up. Thank you all for joining me here for the Brokers Hour. We have this every Saturday at 10:15. Don't forget to join us Monday through Fridays at 6 a.m. No later than 6:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Load Bull Report. That is a daily, weekday review of what's going on in your neck of the woods when it comes to load availability and freight, where I give away free loads to owner-operators that call into the show live. They tell me where they are and what type of trailer they have and where they are leaving from. I locate and find them free freight and give it to them free of charge. I don't charge a dispatch fee or nothing. Just give it away. Give it away. Just go and give it away. I give it away to them, and they can get trucking and make some money. All right. So tune in for that, the Load Bull Report, every weekday morning from 6 a.m. till about 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every weekday morning. Don't forget to join us on Thursday nights for our live dispatch training, for all our students, live dispatch training. Those are broadcast live on YouTube, but after the broadcast ends, I usually take them off and make those for members only. So you can't see them after the broadcast. So be mindful of that. You can go back and watch the Load Bull reports that we post on YouTube live every morning, but our training is for people who have joined our platform only. All right. Thank you all. I appreciate each and every last one of you all. Thank you, Darren, for joining me. Thank you to the Facebook groups, Dispatching 411 and Dispatch Beginners, one-on-one dispatch for beginners, and Dispatch Masters for letting us broadcast live on their groups today. And as always, thank you, YouTube. Thank you guys for joining us. You all always show up and show out. Y'all have a good day. This has been Calvin with the RBBS Logistics Learning Center and the National Dispatch Network. See y'all next time.